oh, you read romantasy,
Oh,
or
that's
you
annoying.
read like Fae or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've read the classics.
Mm-hmm.
I like the classics. And I also like this shit. Like not this, but like I love
Not this.
not
I'd known always that I'd meet one day a wonderful woman. I had met her.
her.
I'd seen her and she'd seen me. We'd come together. A wonderful woman. I'd known the moment I saw her that I belonged to her. I was like, he's having a psychotic break here. Belonged to her absolutely for always. I was hers, and now at last I was
I was
going to
going to
her.
her.
And I was like, bitch, what are you
What are
talking
you
about?
talking about?
And then he's like, ha ha ha. And I fooled them all. I fooled everyone. Everyone thinks that I was in love with Ellie. No one suspects me. He's like convinced, like, I
Yep.
fucking fooled them. And in the end, they're like, we all knew you did it. All of us knew.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Ale.
And I'm Carla, and this is Booked and Buzzin'.
From bestseller to hidden gems, we're going to be sharing our thoughts, reviews, and all the latest buzz in the book world.
Today, we're going to be reviewing Endless Night by Agatha Christie.
Yep. So this one is our first spooky October book. So we're going to be reviewing it as we're drinking our vodka seltzers
In our spooky
and our
cups.
spooky cups. Yeah. So I think that. Well, I think that we should talk about our set.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So our set, which I'm loving.
I know.
We have our
So
little
cute.
spooky lights with our skulls and our pumpkins. Then we have pockets of money because we're going to get into that. And then the pills. And this is your second Agatha Christie book, I think.
I don't even remember how anything that happens in the first one that I read, which was what is it called? I always forget.
What was it? I think it was And There Was None. I think.
And then there were none.
And then there were
Yeah.
none. Yeah.
That was my first one. I went into it very apprehensive because I was like, it was a school book. I go into every school book apprehensively. But then I was like, wait, I really like this. But I don't
It was a
remember
good book.
anything about it. I don't even remember what the main character's name is, who dies.
No, I don't remember the names or anything, but I remember the synopsis.
I don't remember. I think they like are in a house, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But it was really good, and I was shocked because I think we all know,
This is cool.
I do not like being scared or like mysteries or any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I like this? Like it was weird
This
to
is
me.
fun.
Yeah. So then when we were talking about spooky October books, I was like, let's add Agatha Christie because I mean,
Yeah.
she's a legend. Okay, actually, something really fun that I found out reading this because on the back of the book it says Agatha Christie is the most widely published author of all time, outsold only by the Bible and Shakespeare. How fucking crazy is that?
That's actually wild.
I mean, and she's a woman, which is even like cooler.
Better.
Because at the time, I mean, it was male dominated everything.
100%.
And she to this day is only outsold by the Bible
It's insane.
and Shakespeare. Two
Yeah.
historical, like I know Shakespeare is also like he was
Yeah.
a person, plays all that stuff, but this is also historical
But this is-
material.
Yeah, this is a classic. I think she's a classic.
I love that.
Especially in mystery.
I read that and I was so excited. And also on the back of the book it says, read the Queen of Mysteries' personal favorites, and this is one of them. Her personal favorites are The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I want to read that one. Murder on the Orient Express, The
I
Moving
want to
Finger.
read that one.
Really? I haven't heard of it.
No, The Orient Express.
Oh, The Orient Express?
Yeah, I wanna
Okay,
read
yeah.
that one.
I've seen like the trailer of the movie. And then There Were None, which is the one that we read in high school. Towards Zero, Crooked House, A Murder is Announced, Ordeal by Innocence, Endless Night, and then Miss Maple, the complete collection.
I do want to dive into the Miss Maple.
I do too, just because I'm interested. And like how we talked about last time, I was obsessed with Nancy Drew. So I'm like, oh, is this like another series of detective novels? Because I would love that.
So if you guys have read them, let us know if it has to make it to our TBR. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? Because now that we've done like spooky October, but like our usual content is fantasy novels.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like well, what months could we like do something like a theme?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a classic book month
I don't
because
know.
that might be fun to like take it. No. Okay.
I just remember in high school having to read Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet, and I really liked them once I was able to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
But like getting myself in the mind space to read that, I was like, "Ugh."
I loved Macbeth though.
Yeah, I did I read Macbeth?
Loved it. Love it. To this day, I'm like, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, Shakespeare was amazing.
Yeah.
His shit has lived on forever and it has been redone over and over again.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something
I
and I
have a
forgot. I forgot. You go ahead.
I have a quick segment that I want to just because we always do this. We're gonna get to this book, I promise.
Yeah.
But you know what I love about our reading styles is that we're not book snobs.
No.
And that's what I dislike about this community sometimes, where it's like, I know readers that like, oh, you read romantasy
Oh,
or
that's
you
annoying.
read like Fae or whatever. And like, I've read the classics. I like the classics. And I also like this shit. Like, not this, but like, I love
Not this.
that. I'm gonna get to that. But I'm
Not
saying
this
that
one.
this is not like fantasy is what I meant. But like I love my Akatar. I
Yeah.
love my Throne of Glass. I like so it's kind of like it's a quick segment, but I love that I just love reading. Like that we just love reading. Like yeah, we like more and
I
less
think
more
you're
things.
not loving romantasy as much though.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because I was very disappointed with Quicksilver,
I know.
but I really enjoyed When the Moon Hatched.
And you really liked Fourth Wing. And there's another one that you were like,
Loved Fourth
literally do
Wing.
not read it. That I was like, oh, this is on my TBR. Which one?
Blood and Ash.
Yeah.
Don't just no.
Yeah. Which I've heard really
Which
like.
sucked because, by the way, I will say this. I will be honest. The first book of Blood and Ash or whatever it's called, amazing. I really did like it. But the second book lost me.
I'm not gonna read it. But I think that you're more selective with your romantasy. I don't think that you just it being a romantasy is enough for you. You know what I mean?
No. But I do think I like romantasy.
I think so. I just think you're a little more like, I know what I want,
Yeah.
and not so like easily like.
Yeah, like I don't read. But even then, I'll give it a chance.
Like for example, there's a lot of like I see online all the time, things that it's like when they're lovers to hater and you're like 300 pages in and they have to share like a room in an inn and then it's the person like doing like the Grinch smile.
Yes.
And I'm like, I know that you'd be like, it's too soon.
It's true. So, okay. Yes, I do agree that 300 pages is really soon. I don't know how to explain this because again, it's not that I don't want romance or it has to be a specific amount. I just if you're going to do the trope, do the trope right.
But you're also tired of a lot of
Enemies.
tropes.
I don't know because like for example, Khan and ¿cómo se llama?
Rave.
Raven.
Uh-huh.
I did like that setup. I liked that burn.
But they hated each other. She hated him for like 600 pages.
Correct. So maybe
So-
600 is the perfect amount. I don't know. like, but again, and here's the thing. I feel like the role in that book was like they're not like deeply in love yet. Like, yeah, he
Yes.
was and stuff, but it wasn't like it's like you just met him.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna live and change the fucking world over some gun. Like it just doesn't track.
Well, that's
Quicksilver.
a trope though.
It does, but it shouldn't be.
Well, I think look, I to your original point, I think you're right. I don't think we're book snobs. Like I think that if you give me a good book, I'm going to like it no matter
Yeah,
what.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not like a book. I'm like, and I brought this up because I feel like a lot of people that I've talked to, like when they find out that I like reading, they just like, oh, but who's your favorite author?
Oh,
And
I
I'm
hate
like,
that question.
oh, like I don't know, like all of them. I have my favorite books, but like they're very like, oh, but did you read Fitzgerald? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And guess what? Some of those books suck. Like
Yeah.
it's I just what my point here was I like that we can read just to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And like we're readers.
Like I can read one of my favorite tropes. I don't know why, but I really
Okay.
loved, not so much anymore. I've kind of shied away from just fully romance books. But when I was like, there was a point that I was like breathing and inhaling like only romance. And I loved the trope of like the nerdy girl and the like quarterback. I don't know why, but I just thought it was so cute.
I went through that phase too.
Or like the fake dating where she would have to
Yeah.
like tutor him, and then or like
Yeah.
that they would like, and then he would find out like, oh,
Like
be my
One
fake
Tree Hill.
girlfriend. Bitch, I love One Tree
You
Hill.
love
Brooke is my bitch. Peyton, fuck her.
fucker.
Fuck her.
Fucker.
Bro, and then Haley and Nate.
They turned out to be so healthy and
I
amazing
know.
together. One Tree Hill was my shit.
I know. I watched
One
it for
Tree
a
Hill.
while.
Yes.
I know that they ended up like continuing, and then like
I saw the
people
whole
left.
thing, but
I
the
stopped
ending
like
wasn't
at the
that
last
good.
like 2 seasons.
Yes, Lucas. Por ahí, por allá.
I mean, okay, look, I can watch a Cinderella story every day,
Single day.
multiple times in the day. I can never
Waiting
get tired
for
of it.
you is like waiting for rain in this
Oh
drought.
my god. Pointless and what is it? Disappointing. And he's like, wait, even though, wait, what? You've been ignoring me for like how long? And by the way, bro, she is the only girl in that school with blonde hair and un sequillo. Like, how
had
can
no
you not find
chance.
her? How can you not fucking find her? Even the
I know.
outline that you
That's
did
so
has a
funny.
sequillo. What other girl in that movie has a sequillo?
No entiendo.
Hello?
Es que fue bobido.
I know.
But I'm saying, like, Lucas in One Tree Hill.
He was cute and like I fucked with him for like the first 2 seasons. But yeah, after
But
that, when he started
esposo,
ping ponging,
yes.
I was like, no. When he was with Brooke, I loved him. When
Yeah.
he kept going back to Peyton Brooke, I was just
for
like,
what?
yeah.
For what?
Yeah. And I don't like that shit. Okay.
Oh my God.
Tropes I hate. Tropes. This is about Endless Night.
These are gonna make good shorts though.
Yeah. Tropes that I fucking hate are like when they cheat, period. Like when she's with a guy and he's like super a huge asshole to her and he's like just treats her so bad and tells her she's worthless and then she cheats on him and then we're okay with her being with the guy that she cheated with because the guy treated her like shit. I fucking hate that. Or teacher student things. I fucking hate it. I know it's
Don't like that.
I don't like it. I fucking hate the teacher student thing. I don't care if it's like a college thing. Like I don't care. I
No.
don't like it. I
No.
obviously don't like high school. That's weird.
No.
Which
And that's what I think of. I think of Pretty Little Liars.
yes,
¿Cómo se llamaba?
Ezra and
And
Arya. I
Arya.
hated that. I hated that.
Did not like that.
I hated that
I remember
trope.
watching that in high school and being like,
Same. I was disgusted. I was like, ew. Ew. Ew.
ew.
What is this 30-year-old
Because guess
doing
what?
with a
Even
16-year-old?
if the whole bathroom, dude, I read the books. That's why I remember them. I read the books in middle school. And then when they came out with the show and I watched it, I was like, yeah, I still don't feel good about that bathroom scene, but si hubiera dejado ahí, he'd be like, shit.
I could be okay with like, okay, you didn't know she was in high
didn't
school,
know.
but it
Exactly.
ended there.
It ended
But to
there.
continue that,
And then the part in the show where he goes to her parents' house to tell them, Mijo, what did you think was gonna happen?
weird.
So
Even
I don't like that trope
like
either.
college professor to like college student, I don't like it. I don't like that trope, which is
I'm not a big fan
hilarious
of that.
because I just bought the love hypothesis and I'm pretty sure that that's like,
Really?
I don't know, but I got the impression that it was like a teacher student thing. I might be wrong,
Huh? I really don't know about the book.
but I don't know. Me
I
neither.
don't like that trope.
I hate that trope. And what was the other trope that I said I hated? Cheating.
Cheating. I hate
Cheating
tropes.
and that I
don't
I
like
can't get
that.
behind that. Oh, and then I don't love friends to lovers, but I can deal with it. Like I like it if it's done right.
It's not my favorite. Well, and maybe that's why I've become more picky. Not snobby, because I will read books, and even if I don't like them, I'll give it a fair
You'll
chance.
get on here and then you'll trash it with me.
And I can do that, yeah. But I will still read it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll never be like, oh, this is the worst book or whatever. And when I meant snobby, I just meant those people that think, like, if you read anything but the classics,
Right.
you're not a real reader.
I
That's all
think
I
we're
meant.
not uppity. Like, it
Right.
doesn't matter who the author is. If
Exactly.
I've never heard of you, if you're super
Exactly.
popular, if your book is good, it's good.
It's
It
good.
doesn't matter what the genre is.
Yep,
Like, a good book is a good book, period.
exactly.
And I agree with that.
But, and that's what I meant. But I think I've become pickier because I do love enemies to lovers.
But it's
I
like
do
so
love
rarely
that.
done right.
But it's not done right. Okay.
Yeah. I need
like,
you to
for
hate each other
example,
for like 2 books. And I need there to
which
be
is
no
what
signs
happened
of like,
with A Court of Thorns and Roses.
yeah, I like a book and a half.
It was like a book and a half.
Yeah.
It took a book and a half for Feyre to even be like, he ain't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to like, I need to feel like there is not an inkling of
That you're into
like
him.
love of liking each other.
Exactly.
I need you to want to ruin his life.
Yep.
Like talk
Exactly.
shit about him, hate him,
Rowan
he boils your blood.
fucking punching Aelin.
Dude, perfect. Perfect. When I was reading Air of Fire, it got to a point with Rowan where I was like, bro, yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
Yes.
I get it. I
Yes.
fucking get it. Yeah.
Like La Pumula, like seguía, y seguía when she was down, and he kept going.
No, and he was ruthless. Like he was like, "You're worthless. You're a piece of shit." I was like, "What the
He
fuck?"
might as well have died.
Yeah.
That, like, so that is done right.
I will say, I am a sucker for a "Who did that to you?" Where I'm just like,
Okay, that
Tell
was
him.
a moment. That
Tell him who
moment
did it.
was a little. But I think SJM did amazing because even in that moment where they're getting closer, there was a scene where Aelin is trying to like touch his face or something, and he's like, "Don't fucking touch me." So like it still kept you kind of like maybe she's into him, but like he doesn't want her, or there was still mystery. There was no like in those first moments there was no like they're mates.
yeah.
So
Well, he
anyways,
bit her neck, which I was already like, where are we going with this?
oh
But overall, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do enemies to lover, you cannot
just
on the
want
page
them
300 become lovers, unless
No.
it's a standalone book. And in that case, I mean, I guess you don't really have another
Yeah.
choice. But like, I mean, there's some good standalone books like that.
for enemies to lovers.
I mean, just romance that I read. Yeah, there were like like when we read Rush, remember?
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah.
don't, is it called Fallen? It's called Rush, right?
If I think I know what you're talking about, then
Yeah,
yes,
the
I
one
read the
with
book Rush.
Blair that she had the twin. And then like she was poor, she moved in with Rush and he was like just like the
Yes,
worst
he was
to
an
her.
asshole.
He
Yep.
like fucking
Yep.
was fucking some girl on the table when she walked in and like was just like looked at her while he did it and I was just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this?"
Why are you like that? Yeah,
But then
okay,
eventually like towards the end of
wasn't
that book,
yeah.
they did start to like have something.
Yeah.
And I loved that book even though I was like, "Wait, you're like awful."
Yeah.
I think that
So
if it's a
I
standalone,
just
it
think
can
it
be done
needs-
right. It's
maybe.
just harder.
maybe. But I feel like it's still like maybe I'm getting pickier because I don't know. Just Quicksilver didn't do it for me. But I did like when the
Well,
moon hatched.
I didn't think Quicksilver was a good representation of enemies to lovers either.
I bet you it was trying to.
I'm sure, but I just also there's a limit for things with me. Like when you go too far, like I don't care what the end goal was anymore, you lost me. For example, Kale. He was too much of a dick all the time. There is no redemption for me at that point.
Also, though, like, I think what put the nail in the coffin for me with Kale was Queen of Shadows. When she comes back
my God.
and she's Aelin.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you better not do this because then I would do that. And she'd be like, bet,
Do it.
do it.
I love Aelin. No, what put the nail in the coffin for me was when they start dating in Crown of Midnight and he's like conflicted because she's the king's assassin and the assassin's he's telling her go kill these people, and he's like, I can't believe you're doing that, and she's like, your beloved king is telling me to. What am I supposed to do?
The king
And then
here-
Dorian and him speak, and he's like, you don't get to choose what side of her you love. You either love all of her or not at all. And I was just like, fucking preach. Dorian. So
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Let's not even go into that.
Okay. Anyways,
So
side note, we know Agatha Christie is a classic.
yeah,
Did you like the book?
I did.
Okay, that's good.
It took me up until chapter 23 to like the book.
Yeah, there's 24 chapters in this book.
Look,
Is there? I think it's just 24.
Oh, well, then it took me till chapter 24 to like the book.
Yeah.
The last chapter. Look, I struggled in the beginning of it.
Okay.
And I thought maybe because the writing style was
Different.
older.
Yep.
It was a different time. It was written differently. But as it went on, I was just like, when are we getting in the house? Because like the synopsis
forever.
of this book, if you haven't read it, the synopsis is when penniless Michael Rogers discovers the beautiful house at Gypsy Acre and then meets the heiress Ellie, it seems that all his dreams have come true at once. But he ignores an old woman's warning of an ancient curse, and evil begins to stir in paradise. As Michael soon learns, Gypsy Acre is the place where fatal accidents happen. So I was under the impression that it would be like a haunted house situation.
Yeah.
Literally like more than half of, no, I want to say like at least half, they're not in the house.
No, at least 50 to 60% they're not in the house.
Then they're in the house and it's just like little stupid shit, like somebody threw a rock through the window. And,
Yeah. Or like there was accidents when they were building it.
but like they weren't even there for that, so it doesn't count. And then
they
like
don't even know specifics of it.
that fucking gypsy bitch kept like being like, something bad is gonna happen to you, something bad is gonna happen to you, and that was like as ominous as it got.
Yeah.
And then suddenly something happens and we're like, oh, okay, enthralled. And that's like about it regarding like the house and the haunting. So
Yeah. I was expecting a bit more paranormal, like weird things happening in the house, and I didn't get that at
or
all.
at the very least, like a murder, like in the first few pages.
You had to give me something. Yeah.
I felt that it dragged a bit.
I'm surprised though that like the last chapter redeemed it for you.
It
really
did
didn't
because
for me.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? It was such a
Twist.
yes. And I know I've said this and I keep disproving myself because I keep being like, this actually surprised me. It's not easy to shock me in a book. It's just not. I can see shit coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
I can clock shit real quick. You know, like this one, I was like, I didn't even suspect.
No. But that makes me have an issue with it.
No, I thought it was like,
And
it
here's
literally
why.
pulled the rug from under me. Like I was like,
Yes.
what the fuck?
So, for background, right? The whole book is this guy, Mike, right? That's his name?
Yeah, Michael Rogers, I think.
Michael, no sé. So this guy,
Michael, no me importa.
no me importa. Que se
Michael, who
quede
gives a
ahí.
fuck? Uh-huh.
And you get introduced to him, and he's like, you know, this guy that can't hold a job, and he's like just kind of
It's very
stumbling
free.
around. Yeah.
It doesn't want to be tied down, essentially.
Yeah. Then he finds this lands that they're selling called Gypsy Acre. And he's like, I wish I could buy a house here. Like, that's my dream. Like, I know a famous architect and he would make me this and whatever. And then when he's there in the land, just like walking around or whatever, he meets Ellie, right?
Vanilla.
And they all of a sudden like have a connection, which is fair. Like, you can have a connection right away.
Right.
But then they start meeting up, and she's like kind of shady. And like all of a sudden they like each other, and then they decide to get married.
Like really
which I'm
quickly.
like, all just
But
like that.
different
Okay.
time.
It
Different
is
time.
different time
So I don't
because-
want to completely judge that.
No, and I won't, because it is a different time. Maybe like because we find out Ellie has like high status in society, she's rich and whatnot. Like, it would look worse if she's just like kind of flirting with a guy and like.
I don't know what time, like what year this was written, but like for example, right now I'm watching Downton Abbey, And that's like in the 1912s to 19, I don't know what's.
Okay.
And I'm sure this is not 1912, but I'm saying in Downton Abbey, they like, it's like in Bridgerton where they like
Yeah, like you can't
chaperone the
just,
girl.
yeah.
She like meets him a few times and then they're like, let's get married. And then they get married. And then bye bye. Lives with the
Yeah.
guy, which is like, you don't even know this man. So he could be like a
No.
humongous piece of shit. But
Mean
I don't
and
know if
horrible.
that's what's
The
still
vibe.
kind of the vibe in this
It gave it,
timeline.
yes, because it gave the vibe, because then they bring in Greta, and Greta's
Yeah.
supposed to be watching out for her.
Fucking Greta.
So, whatever. They fall in love, they get married, all this shit. You find out she's loaded. She buys the Gypsy Acre land. They start building a house.
Yeah, her grandpa is like an oil tycoon
Yeah.
or something, and she's the only like left descendant of
Yeah.
his.
And then you find like different characters from her family that come in and all this stuff. And Greta is a friend of her. No, it's is she supposed to be basically, I feel like, her governess.
Yeah, like her
almost.
babysitter,
Yeah, like her
basically.
babysitter. And you find out that she's always let Ellie kind of like do her own thing and just like give her like liberty.
Ellie seems very tame, so when we say give her like let her do her own thing, it's more so like Greta just being like, "Oh, why don't you do this? Oh, why don't you do that? Oh, I'll cover for you so you can go here. I'll cover for you so
Yeah,
you can
but
go
like
there."
very like como pasear. Like
Yeah.
she just wants to like have a moment to herself or do
Breathe.
something fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we find this Greta person, and then Mike and her are starting life together, but Mike doesn't like Greta, and
Well,
then Greta comes to stay with them.
Mike doesn't like Greta just because like she mentions
Because she mentions
during
her
one of
too
her their
much.
dates like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Greta." And he's like, "Who the fuck is Greta?" And she's like, "Oh, she was
He
like
seems
hired."
jealous.
Yeah, which is weird cuz number 1, she's a girl, you're a guy. Like you're her boyfriend, that's her friend.
But he probably just wanted to be the only person that she got information from or like support
Yeah,
from.
but that's toxic. So Mike gave a lot of red flags for me
I
in the
mean, the
beginning.
entire book. Even when he was like,
The whole book, yeah.
yeah, the point very early on, he's like, I don't like strong girls or something like that. Do you remember that part?
I don't remember that.
I did. I highlighted it. When he goes, oh, Ellie goes, oh, yes, you would like Greta. I'm sure you would. She's very clever too. And then Mike goes, I don't like clever girls. And I don't like tall blonde girls. I like small girls with hair like autumn leaves. Mijo.
Was he describing Ellie?
Mm-hmm. But even then, like little moments where he's like, I don't like clever girls. I don't like this.
He gave me
Outspoken.
a lot of red flags for a million reasons, and it started with his dislike for Greta because to me, I'm like, listen, you're not even fully dating her, and that is her friend. What is it that you want from her? Do you just want to be the center of her life and she can't have anything outside of you? Because that is a huge fucking red flag.
I know.
People need to have relationships outside of their relationship, which is hard in adulthood, and especially once you have a family and all that stuff. But like,
Yeah.
I think that you can only be a guy fully with other guys. Like, you can only like
Yeah.
make dumb, immature jokes and like,
Or have girl talk.
and you can only be a girl with your girls.
Yeah.
Like, I can only get the same energy back from another girl. Like, I might be able to tell, like my boyfriend, whatever, hey, oh my God, this este chisme pasó en el trabajo, and he'll listen and be like, that's crazy. But when I message you and I'm like, bitch, you're like, if you don't
Fucker.
send me that fucking voice note right now, I'm gonna drive straight through your house. It's like, that's the energy. So for somebody, Mike, to just be like, I don't fucking like her because you're close to her and I want to be closer to you, weird.
Weird. I would agree with that. Weird. But anyways, he's been weird.
Yeah. But then
And
also, nunca se quería mejorar. Like, I don't really know.
He was very like, this is who I am.
Yeah, but then he meets this girl and she's like, I'm filthy rich. And he's like, okay, I don't care about that. And he's like, you don't feel excited. You don't feel like some guys don't like when the girl has more money than them. He didn't feel weird about that. He didn't feel like, oh shit, yay, like I don't have to work.
He's
He
like,
didn't
I'm going to get a
feel-
house in Gypsy Acre.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't
it.
feel like, oh, let me like do something too so that I
No.
can like,
Help or like
just,
just
like,
feel like
I'm doing
productive.
something with
Yeah.
my life.
Or even
just
when
weird.
at one point when they were in the house and Emily's like, oh, like, oh, no, this is later. When Greta's like, oh, we can travel or whatever. And he's like, I just want to be in this house.
Yeah, like what?
What?
It was just weird. He was
Yeah.
weird. And then like him with his mom, how he was like, I don't want to see her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her to come over here. I don't want to this. I don't want to that. I was just like, at first, before
Weird.
we meet the mom, I was like, okay, strange.
Very strange.
Then we meet the mom, and I'm like, she's not that big of a bitch. Like, what's
No.
the problem?
What is she worried about all the time? Right? So, anyways, fast forward all this shit. Ellie starts riding horses with the people in town. They're having like, they're integrating to this town now and all these things. And then Ellie dies.
Suddenly.
And who killed Ellie?
Well, Ellie fell off her horse
Yeah.
and just died. So Mike goes to this like auction and he's like, oh, babe, you should come later. I'm going to have like lunch with, no sé, the guy. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know what? I think I will. And he's like, okay, cool. Come around like, let's say it's 12 o'clock, right when he's saying that. He's like, come at like 4. She's like, all right, I'm just going to go ride my horse. Bye. And he's like, okay, bye. Goes to the auction, buys this table. He's like, I'm so hyped. I bought this table for Ellie. She's going to love it. Blah, blah, blah. It's for her birthday. They go, they eat dinner. And then,
She's still not there.
yeah, lunch, dinner, whatever. She's
Yeah.
still not there. He's like, weird. They're like, oh, should we call the house? The guy suggested, not even fucking Mike. And he's like, yeah, let's call. He calls. The servants are like, she never came back from the horse ride. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? And they're like, oh, yeah, she just never came back. And he's like, okay, call me as soon as like she comes in, which like, bitch, I just told you she hasn't come. Get in the car. Leave.
Sincerely. Yeah.
But then he's like, oh, she hasn't come in yet. He's like starting to worry, the dude. He's like, let's just go like sit down and eat, and I'm sure she'll be any second. And then the guy's like, oh, you seem worried. And he's like, yeah, this and that. Basically tells him like Ellie's not like been back, and I don't know, I'm kind of concerned. And the guy's like, you know what, fuck this lunch, let's go back to your house, let's see if anyone's seen her. They go, and then they search the grounds, and there she is, crumpled in like her, it's like it says we see a crumple of like clothes and we know it's Ellie, basically. And then Mike's like, can you please check for me? I can't. And he's like, yeah, she's been dead for a while. And the doctor comes and he's like, oh, I don't know, it must have been the shock of the fall. Can't really tell you what it is. And then you're just like,
Then there was like this whole idea that she had like a weak heart.
which Greta perpetuated that. When she died, I was like, it was Greta. Immediately.
Same.
Immediately, I was like, it was Greta.
Because it makes sense.
Y ella
Because
cae
there's
mal.
animosity.
Greta cae mal.
With Greta cae mal. She has strong opinions. Se mete en lo que no le incumbe.
Yeah.
And
Greta is up their fucking ass.
yeah, like she moves in with them for a while and then she doesn't leave.
So Mike hates Greta, right? And then Mike is like, Ellie's like, well, Greta's gonna move into the house with us, right? And he's like, no, the fuck she's not. I want us to live just us two, a married couple. She's like, but what can
Which
I
is
do with
normal.
Greta? Makes sense.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm okay
I
with her,
understand
though.
that.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
feel the same way. I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want your fucking friend moving in with us. We just got married. We just bought this beautiful house. No. And she's like, oh, but you know, what is she gonna do? Like, my whole family's upset with her because she literally covered for me this whole time and we got married, and all thanks to her. And he's like, I don't know, offer her some money. She's not moving in with us. Fucking like 3 weeks later, Ellie sprains her ankle and Greta
she moves right
moves her moving truck straight into that fucking house. And you're like, all right, she's gonna be there for a little bit. I was like, there's no reason she needs to stay here. But fucking Mike is like, okay. She moves in. She starts taking care of her. The doctor comes and she's like, you're great now. Nothing's wrong with you. Camina como si nada. And Greta stays. And Mike has no problem with it. And I'm like,
Yep.
wait a minute. You fucking hate this bitch. Why are you letting her stay? You told Ellie, hell fuck no, she's not moving in with us. But where's that energy now?
When I read the book, my first thought was como que like he noticed how easy life Greta made. How easy Greta made life, because She entertains Ellie, so it's another girl, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. 1 and 2, whenever Ellie's not feeling good, or if anything else happens, Greta's gonna take care of the house, take care of this.
Yeah, but
So
he would be like, I feel left out whenever Greta and Ellie were together because they were like giggling and all these inside jokes, and he would be like amargado.
yeah, true.
And Greta and Mike have this like huge fight in front of Ellie where they say like nasty things to each other. So like, look, if it's me, you're not moving in here. I can. First,
No.
you don't work. All your time is free. You can fucking take care of your wife. You're not moving in here. And even if it's like not just me, you have servants. The fucking servant girl can take care of her.
100%.
I don't like your ass. You're not. You can visit her. Hi, how are you? Now leave.
Yeah,
But let's say
but she moves in.
that I let you move in. Her fucking ankle is good. Vete pa la pinga. Get out of my house.
100%.
Get the fuck out of my house.
100%.
Didn't you say all this nasty shit to me when we were fighting? Fucking
Leave.
bye.
Bye. Thank you for helping your friends, but
Kick
now
rocks,
this is
bitch.
my house.
Bye-bye.
Get out of here.
Yes, she's good now. Visit her next week.
Yep. But that doesn't happen.
Nope.
So
she
she
lives
stays.
there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So again, there's all this animosity that's been like you're reading through this book and you're like, okay, Mike hates Greta. Greta has an ulterior motive. Like you see that right off the bat. Even though Ellie pays her off, like why are you so obsessed with her?
Yeah.
Go live your life. You're not a governess or a babysitter
You're getting
anymore.
you got like a large amount of money and you have another job.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
good. Go
Yeah.
have fun.
So then I thought, like, does she love Ellie? That was a weird one for me too. I'm like,
No,
I don't
I
know.
didn't think that.
But then I thought, like, she has it out for her.
Same.
Or something, right? So
Yeah.
when we find out Ellie dies, I'm like, Greta did it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed obvious to me. But whatever. Ellie dies.
And Greta continues like when the doctor comes and checks on her ankle the first time and he's like, yeah, it's this and that. Greta's like, she has a weak heart, she has a weak heart, she has a weak heart to the doctor. And he's like, okay.
I don't see any evidence of
Yeah,
that.
he's like, she seems fine to me. And then Mike is like, can you check her? Because this bitch is like convinced that something's wrong with Ellie. He's like, yeah, I'll do a physical. Let me see what medicines she takes. She takes some allergy pills for riding her horse because I don't know, she's allergic to some element of the horse. She has sleeping meds that she doesn't really take anymore, and she has something else. And he's just like, yeah, just take your allergy medicine, you'll be fine. And Greta's like, oh, but she needs to be like careful because she has a sensitive heart. And she continues to talk about it. So you're like, Greta,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I heard you the first time. The doctor says she's fine. Are you a doctor,
And you
Greta?
continue. Oh, but they said it back then. The physicians in the other city, blah, 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 that knew her better.
She's just like obsessive with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
So when Ellie dies, I'm like, I don't know how you did it, but I know that you did it to Greta.
Yep. And then they're doing the whole investigation. Mike seems more pissed than like sad, or like, which is fine.
Yeah,
I guess it could be.
he was hard to read emotionally because
Yeah.
he was very matter of fact afterwards.
Yep.
He didn't. So he does tell
Very
you how
much
he
like
feels.
it's the gypsy girl, it's the threat, it's the this, it's
Yeah.
the that.
He just is very like, he asks questions, he states things, but
Yep.
he in the beginning of the book will tell you like, oh, I feel this, I feel that. Not so much, but he does express his
Yeah.
feelings. At this point, no. He's basically, there's no feelings. It's just what
Who
is
did it?
happening, what
Yeah.
are his thoughts on the situation.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And like another thing is like for me, when they start interviewing people, somebody's like, oh yeah, I saw like a woman in a red cloak. And that was like the gypsy, right? He was like, that's the gypsy wears a red cloak, but
The
I don't
gypsy
know.
that like spent the entire time like
Yeah.
saying like you need to get out of this house, like something bad's gonna happen.
Right.
This isn't your land.
I was like, then it was Greta and the coach. She fucking scared the horse on purpose or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was Greta.
Same. But this is the part that like kind of lost me. So then we find out that whatever he has to go to Ellie's hometown once again. He travels over there to get all of the financial affairs because Ellie had changed her will to include him. right? So now he's a multi-billionaire.
Well, before that though, they're like speculating that it could be a bunch of people.
Well, and there was, yes, you're right. And then there was other people in her life and her family that were in town magically that
Yes.
day.
Well, which was what the fuck?
Yeah.
Her stepmother was in town.
Her
cousin, her accountant.
Yep.
And I think that's it, right?
That's it. So it's like now you have like an accumulation of people from her.
And people were meeting.
Yeah.
Like the stepmother met with the cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And then her accountant met with her friend. What was her friend's name?
Who was Claudia.
Claudia.
Who would go ride horses with her.
Right. And then her accountant, you find out, and Claudia
used to be married.
Yeah, you find out Claudia married some really rich guy. It went south. They got a divorce. You never know who it is. Then you find out
it's the accountant.
That it's the accountant. And you're like, well, what a fucking small world.
So now you start thinking they're all in it.
Because these people live in America, right?
Yeah.
So like the accountant lives in America. The cousin lives in America. Cora lives everywhere. The stepmother. And then Claudia this is in England or London, UK, the UK. Yeah. I don't know where. So you're like, wait, so how did you even meet from the UK to America? And qué casualidad que todo el mundo está aquí de pronto.
Yep.
What a coincidence that everybody's suddenly here. Sorry. Translation.
It brings the plot. It's plotting. You're like, oh my God, everybody's in on it. They wanted Greta to kill her so that everybody gets the inheritance.
And then they have like this little like, I don't even know what it is, like a gazebo, I guess. Like a little area where you can go sit and chill.
Yes.
Like further from the house.
I forgot about that. Yes, like a little cottage kind of thing.
And they find a lighter with an encrusted like sea. And they're like, oh, this must be Claudia. So then you're like, did Claudia have something to do with it? And
before he's about to leave, she bumps into him and she's like, I want your property. And he's like, what the fuck?
He's like, I'm not selling it. And she's like,
oh.
And then he asks her, let me ask you something. Was your husband the name of the accountant? And she's like, yes, and leaves. So you're like, wait a minute, bitch.
Shady as fuck. She's shady.
And then you find out that this bitch dies too.
Yes.
What was it? She fell off a horse also?
I don't remember.
She just dies. We find out she dies. The gypsy is found también muerta in like a river or something. So
you have like 3 murders basically.
So you're just like, hold on.
Who the fuck
what the fuck is going on? Who's behind this? And then
and he talks to the detective or the mayor or whatever, and then they're like, well, like if someone were really doing this, they want to kind of close out all like loose ends.
Yeah.
And you're gonna find the gypsy dead. And that's exactly what they do.
Yeah. And you also find in the beginning of the book, once they get married and he has to meet her family, she basically gives him the breakdown. He meets them all. And there's only one character that I liked, which was the lawyer. I think the one who was in charge with her estate.
Andrew.
Okay. So
Limpcott.
Yeah. I liked him. He was probably the only character in the book I liked. I liked Ellie, but I was just like, you're not doing enough for me. Andrew, I liked him because he sat down.
Yeah.
She gets married. He's the first one there. He's like, I've been here. And he's like, I'm going to meet with you guys together. I'm going to meet with you by myself.
By yourself.
By Ellie. And then I'm going to meet with you by yourself. By Michael.
Yep.
And he interviews Michael. He's like, okay, this. And he seems like not an asshole. Like he doesn't seem like he's judging him. But Michael like catches that he's like, he is looking at me a certain type of way. Like he's being nice to me,
but he's
not
like
judging me.
Onto something.
But he's watching me basically.
Yeah. Like he is not totally convinced by me.
And he warns her about Greta.
Yep.
So then fucking Greta moves into the house and Saxonoxen, the architect. That fucking name. Santonix, whatever.
Sanders.
Mm-hmm. He comes to visit and he's like, you need to get that bitch out of this fucking house. So everybody's warning you about Greta.
So
and then when Ellie dies, you're like, who could it have been? It's fucking
Greta.
Yeah.
Right. But then it gets shadier because there's people around that shouldn't be around. People meeting.
Yep.
This Claudia girl wants to buy the properties. When, by the way, when they first meet, she was like, I don't like modern architecture.
Yeah. She's like, I like old houses or whatever.
That was a switch up. Okay, you're guilty.
Yep.
So
And she was meeting with
el accountant, no?
the accountant
and
in the same
and
restaurant
Cora,
as Mike.
wasn't it?
Oh, did she meet with Cora?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I forgot that part.
Yes, because she knew that she had married an accountant. They knew each other from back.
Oh, yeah,
then.
yeah. Okay, so anyways, yeah. All of that shit happens and then he goes to
America to finalize
New York?
the will.
Is that where he went?
Get over see.
Okay.
And
Just to get his affairs in order for Ellie.
yeah.
Which I was sad when she died.
Yeah, la pobre.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Jesus.
I know, and it was very like, and she's dead.
And she's dead.
Yeah.
We're like, we couldn't even CPR? No, no.
Yeah, nothing.
Somebody.
Been dead.
My hand. And what I don't like, well, okay, so there's this part in the book where he's in America and Andrew recommends, like, hey, you should find your own lawyer, which was nice,
I appreciate that.
right?
Which is why I like him.
Yep. So then he finds his own lawyer and all these things. And then they sign some things, they sign some other things, whatever. He leaves to go to his architect friend because he's dying.
Yeah.
But what does he say at the end?
I was so confused by this part.
Okay. What does he say?
I think he says like you went down the wrong road or something like
Yeah.
that.
So he goes wrong path.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Dies. During the entire story, the architect is like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Oh yeah, he's like about to die.
It's like ill. I didn't get it, right? So then this is the part where I felt the original twist. When he's like, hey, I'm going to write to Phil Nosege, mayor. And when I get back, turns out I'm actually going to marry Greta.
Okay, that
What
I was
the
like,
fuck?
what? I was like,
Yeah, she was
wait.
very helpful with Ellie. She's actually not a bad girl. She has the house in order. This is what Ellie would have wanted.
Yeah, that threw me the fuck off. I
What
was
the
like,
fuck?
wait, is this like is this what? I didn't understand what I was reading. I was like,
No.
Mike is not writing this. Who's writing this? Like, is this like a delusion of his? Is he having a like external
This
thought?
is the next step. This is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry Greta.
In what world would anyone be like, yeah, that is actually the next appropriate step to take?
Yeah, like after
On what
you're
fucking
a
planet?
young widow that your wife died like
a week
month ago.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to marry her best friend that you hate. Yeah, that tracks.
Definitely. I was like, what the fuck?
I
And then
was
he
so-
writes that letter. I was so confused during that. He writes that letter.
And why does he have to write that letter?
I don't know.
It's so
Just go
weird
there
to
and tell
me.
him.
Exactly. So, okay, I'm leading up to my biggest critique in the book. He gets back to the UK, goes to his house. Greta's there. And then he's like, we did it. And you're like, what?
Well, wait. He was saying, now finally, I'm happy. My life is fulfilled. I have the woman of my dreams. And I was like,
Yes.
he's having a psychotic break because Ellie's dead. Like, what do you mean you have the woman of your dreams? What the fuck are you talking about?
He has lost it.
I was like, he's out of his mind. This is the part where he gets institutionalized.
Yep.
He's like, I have everything I want, my dream house, the woman of my dreams. And I was like, she's like 6 feet under, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
talking about?
And then he's like, Greta, the love of my life. And I was like, did he fall in love with her? Like,
What the
while he was married to Ellie? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
And then he keeps going and he's like, in the beginning of the book, he talks about he had this like chauffeur job that he was like, I actually didn't like that client. So I just called in and I was like, oh, I'm sick. And they like replaced me as the driver. And then I just ended up spending an extra night at that place, whatever city he was at. And he goes back and talks about like how that night that he spent with Greta in that town where he had to like skip taking care of like chauffeuring for that guy. And then you're like, wait, has he known Greta all
this
along?
entire time?
And then he reveals like it's just like such an explosion of
It's an
shit.
explosion. Literally, last chapter of the book, then it explodes into like, we did it.
Dude, hold on. Let me see if I could see like the exact line that I was like, "What? This guy's delusional." Hold on.
Let me try to find it too, because I do think I might have highlighted it. Greta had known me for what I was the first moment we met. We'd never had any silly illusions about each other. I remember how I'd poured out my heart to her when I first met her in Hamburg, telling her my frenzied desire for things. I hadn't got to conceal my inordinate greed for life from Greta. Was that it?
Hold on. I want to read the part where I was like, huh?
Yes, I'd like you to be the first to know. You've been so kind to us, and I think you'll be the only person to understand. I can't face living alone at Gypsy's Acre. I've been thinking all the time I've been in America, and I've decided that as soon as I get home, I'm going to ask Greta to marry me. She's the only person I can really talk to about Ellie, you see. She'll understand. Perhaps she won't marry me, but I think she will. It will make everything as though there were the three of us together still. How
Okay,
close
okay,
Ellie
I
and
got it. I
Greta
got it.
had been.
So it's chapter 23 and he's saying like, "Okay, I'm done meeting with Santonix. Santonix is dead." And he's like, um, "Yes, that's what I was doing. It was all over. The last of the fight, the last of the struggle, the last phase of the journey." He's talking about New York. So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Like finally he's done. Everything is put to rest. He can go be in peace." It seems so long ago to the time of my restless youth, the days of I want, but it wasn't long, less than a year. I went over it all, lying there in my bunk and thinking. I think he's like on a bunk in a ship or something. Meeting Ellie, our times in Regent Park, our marriage in the registrar's office, the house Santonix building it, the house completed, mine, all mine. I was me. Me as I wanted to be, as I'd always wanted to be. I'd got everything I'd wanted and I was going home to it. So I was like, "Oh, like Ellie's grave or something? Like did you make a grave for her there?" And then he
Yes.
goes, "Before I left New York, I'd written one letter and sent it off by airmail to get ahead of me." And then that's the part where you're talking about it was easier to write than tell him. And then
Some people probably wouldn't understand, but I thought he would. He'd see for himself how close Ellie and Greta had been, how Ellie had depended on Greta. I thought he'd realize how I'd come to depend upon her also. How it would be impossible for me to live in that house where I'd live with Ellie unless there was someone there to help me.
and then he goes, "I'd shaken off America. I'd shaken off the crooks and the sycophants and the whole lot of them who I'd hated." At this point I was like, is he marrying Greta out of some weird duty? And whom I was pretty sure hated me and looked down at me for being so low class. I was back in triumph. I was coming back to the pine trees and the curling dangerous road that made its way through Gypsy Acre to the house on the hilltop. My house. I was coming back to the two things I wanted. My house, the house I dreamed of, that I'd planned, that I wanted above everything, that and a wonderful woman. I'd known always that I'd known always that I'd meet one day a wonderful woman. I had met her. I'd seen her and she'd seen me. We'd come together. A wonderful woman. I'd known the moment I saw her that I belonged to her. I was like, he's having a psychotic break here. Belonged to her absolutely for always. I was hers and now at last I was
I was
going to
going to
her.
her.
And I was like, bitch, what are you
What are
talking
you
about?
talking about?
And very shortly thereafter, it's the biggest mic drop explosion that I've read. And like, dude, I don't even know when I've been this shocked.
Then it goes, the pretense of disliking her. I thought now, laughing to myself, of the part I'd played, a part I'd played carefully right from the beginning, disliking Greta, not wanting her to come and stay with Ellie. Yes, I'd been very careful. Everyone must have been taken in by the pretense. I remembered the quarrel we'd faked up so Ellie wouldn't overhear it. We've never had any silly whatever. Anyways, so
So I'm reading
I'm
this and I'm
like,
like, they did it. They did this. They fucking did this. And then, oh my God, this chapter it's like earth shattering. And
Yep.
then, so he's talking to Ellie at some point in the middle of the book when they're married. And I don't remember what happens that he like wants to mention this childhood story. And he's like, "Oh, one time when I was a kid, I saw one of my friends die. Like,
Oh, they went under the ice,
yeah, we like were I think running
like
around on
fishing or
ice
something.
or
I don't remember.
something, and
Yeah.
like it was on a lake, and the lake cracked, and my friend fell in, and he died. Like by the time they got to him, like he was
Yeah.
dead. And in this chapter, he's like, "Yes, we've been planning this forever. Yes, Greta, I fucking met Greta so long ago, a year ago. That day that like I skipped chauffeuring, I was with her, and she talked to me about like devising. We talked about our ambitions, and she saw who I
How
was,
to
and
get
how
money.
could we get money, and she talked to me about if I was willing to like date a rich girl and get the money from her, and I just was like incredulous, and she's the same as me." Because then she goes, Greta was like, all you have to do essentially is just kill that girl and the money is all yours. And he was like, I was taken aback, but she knew, she saw me. And then he's like, because when I was a kid,
Yep.
my friend had this really fucking nice watch and we were running around on ice and it cracked and he fell in it. And I took the watch off his hand and I put his head underwater and drowned him. And then he's like, I hid it from my mom because I knew that she would think something. And then he was like, she always knew something was wrong with me. And now I'm
And
like,
then she found it. She found the watch
and he tried to be like, oh, I found it. And he goes, but she knew. And he's like, I always had to keep her away
at
because
arm's
my
length.
mom
Yeah.
knew who I was. And then you're like, that's why the fuck you don't want her around you ever because she
Yep.
sees that you're a psychopath.
Yep. And he even saw, he thought that Santonix knew that about him too.
He also mentions another time where his friend and him, like, I don't know, they were playing some gambling game, I'm guessing. His friend got all this money. And I don't know exactly because I was a little confused reading it, but like essentially they like get jumped
Yeah.
and somebody stabs his friend and then they
Yes.
run
And
away.
yes,
And he takes the knife out and stabs him more.
it's fucking
What the
weird.
fuck?
Yep. Is this one? Lost everything I had, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, my reflexes are pretty good. I wrapped a handkerchief around my hand and pulled out the knife from Ed's wound, and I stuck the knife in again, a couple times in better places. He gave a gasp and passed out. I was scared, of course, scared for a second or two, and then I knew it was going to be all right. So I felt, well, naturally, I felt proud of myself for thinking and acting quick. I thought, poor old Ed, he was always a fool. It took me no time to transfer all those notes to my own pocket like the money.
Psychopath.
Yes.
And when you're reading this book, like, you don't like Mike, or I didn't like Mike.
No, I didn't like Mike
But
either.
I didn't think that he was devious. Or
Yeah.
even when he was with Ellie and he found out she had money, I was like, interesting that he's not reacting. Like,
Yeah.
because I was like, I would expect him to be like overjoyed because he's always talking about how he wants things.
Wants
And
things,
he
yep.
was just like deadpan, neutral.
Like
And
he
I was
wanted
like,
this gypsy acre. He like saw a house. He wanted a house from Santa
he fooled me into thinking like, oh, he just really wants that land. And
Yep.
like, for whatever reason, him and Ellie like each other.
Okay. I think I would have liked this story more if it would have been in a third person. I don't like that I was in his head and didn't know any of this.
I appreciate that I was in his head because he fooled me. And I saw somebody talking online about how like there are some times where when you're reading first person, the reader like the narrator's deceiving you, and that's what happened in this book.
Okay. That's interesting.
I appreciated
like
that.
that.
Because if we were in third person, this
just
wouldn't have been a
didn't
shock.
like-
Because
He
he
would have been
says like
shady. Yeah.
all these nights that okay, here's the thing. He's like the nights that Greta and I would slip away to that little gazebo thing, and we would have like sex, and Ellie never finds out. And then
Horrible.
he's like, ha ha ha, and I fooled them all. I fooled everyone. Everyone thinks that I was in love with Ellie. No one suspects me. He's like convinced, like I fucking fooled them. And in the end, they're like, we all knew you did it. All of us knew. All of us knew that you fucking did it. So like he's so
You're right. He's like
superior
yep.
that he's like I'm just like so fucking smart. He's
So
such
he's
a
an
narcissist.
unreliable narrator.
Yes.
It's
And
okay.
that's why he fools you, because if you're reading this third person, you would see the shady shit that everybody else is seeing.
Okay, I guess that's true. Okay, I like it now.
Okay, I like the book now.
Okay, because at first what bothered me was that like it was such a shock at the end that he's the one that like orchestrated everything with Greta, and then he ends up killing Greta. So whatever, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that was
That was
crazy.
fucking weird. So then at first I was like, what the fuck? Where did we even come from? And my initial reaction was like, I don't like this because if I reread the story, I wouldn't catch on details that it's him. So it feels very like, oh, ha
I
ha
think
ha,
it
you
was
got to the
intentional.
end. Yeah, you get to the end of the book, and now we have a twist, and that's why the book is good. I'm like, you made me read 22 fucking chapters of this, and 23rd is the only good one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're right. I didn't think about it that way, but if we can assume that he's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
narcissistic, then he did fool you.
He, I think, is just also so like, he believes so highly of himself
That's true.
that you just fall into his trap because you're reading his perspective where he's thinking like, I'm fucking fooling everyone. But like Andrew Limcott, he fucking clocked him immediately because
100%.
okay, so he gets to the house. He's like, Greta, the love of my life, and she's like, ha ha ha, we did it. Now we can just travel the world together. And he's like, I don't want to travel. I want to stay in the house. She's like, what the fuck? That's so stupid. We have all this money. Like, let's go places. By the ways, you got a letter in the mail. And Andrew had told him before he left, like, hey, I mailed something to your house. So by the time you get back, it'll be there. He opens it and it's a picture of him and Greta a year ago. And the first question that Andrew asked him when he met him was, do you know Greta? Have you ever met her? And this fucker says, nope, never met her, but I have heard of her from Ellie. So Andrew was like, you never met her? And like this time around, Andrew tells Limcott, like, I'm going to marry Greta, or Greta's living there.
Yeah.
I think he tells her that he's going to marry Greta.
Mm-hmm.
And Limcott's like, okay.
Yep.
So he
And
gets
then
there,
he
he
knows.
sees that, and he's like, this fucker knows.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's like I'd like to know what Lippincott says in this letter. There was nothing inside except the cutting from a paper. I recognized this street with rather a grand building in the background. It was a street in Hamburg with some people coming towards the photographer. Two people in the forefront walking arm in arm. They were Greta and myself. So Lippincott had known. He had known all along that I already knew Greta.
why didn't
Which
he tell
pisses me
Ellie?
off. Why didn't he tell Ellie?
That is a good point. Why didn't he tell
Why
her?
didn't he tell her?
I don't know. I mean, by the time that he meets Michael, they're married already. But still.
He couldn't suspect, of course, that I'd killed Ellie.
See, even then he's like, oh, he doesn't know that I killed her.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think he sent it to him to be like, just so you know, I know.
But why wouldn't he tell Ellie?
I don't know.
And then he just kills fucking Greta
Well,
and
I
calls
don't
her
even
a
remember
filthy
what.
bitch.
Yeah. He was like the woman of my dreams, and now he's like, you filthy bitch.
No, look at this. Like, this is how psychotic
What
he
set
is.
him off? I don't remember.
Okay, so when he tells Greta Lippincott knew, she goes, Mike, will you stop being a panic-stricken rabbit? Yes, that's what I said. A panic-stricken rabbit. I admired you. I've always admired you, but now you're falling to pieces. You're afraid of everyone. Blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, so they like it goes back and forth. And he's like, how can I help it? I've sold my soul to Gypsy's Acre, haven't I? Gypsy's Acre never been safe. It's never been safe for anyone. It wasn't safe for Ellie, and it isn't safe for me.
You need to read it in a British accent.
It isn't safe for you. No, I suck at that shit. I can't even. I was going to try, but then I was like, I don't think I can do that.
I'm kidding.
What do you mean? And then he goes, I got up. I went towards her. I loved her. Yes, I loved her still, with a last tense sexual desire. But love, hate, desire, aren't they all the same? 3 and 1 and 1 and 3. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I could never have hated Ellie, but I hated Greta. What? I enjoyed hating her. I hated her with all my heart. And with a leaping joyous wish, I couldn't wait for the safe ways.
I think
didn't
he's
want to
talking
wait for
about when
them.
he was pretending to hate her.
I didn't want to wait for them. I came nearer to her. You filthy bitch. You hateful, glorious, golden-haired bitch. You're not safe, Greta. You're not safe from me. Do you understand? I've learned to enjoy killing people. I was excited the day I knew Ellie had gone out with the horse to her death. I enjoyed myself all morning because of killing, but I've never got near enough to killing until now. This is different. I want more than just knowing that someone's going to die because of a capsule they swallowed at breakfast time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Her
now we
allergy
know.
pill.
Yep. So he poisoned her.
Mm-hmm.
I want more than pushing an old woman over a quarry. So he killed
Mm-hmm.
the gypsy. I want to use my hands. And he just fucking killed her.
Okay. So he just, I think maybe that's part of the gypsy acre magic
Yeah.
where
Well,
it helped
which
push
he
him
did.
into his
Yeah.
insanity.
And he saw an illusion of Ellie
Yeah, I think
going
he
on.
also felt slight guilt towards killing Ellie because he mentions at some point in the end of the book when he's like in prison, he's like, there was a moment where Ellie was singing a song. I think it was the Endless Night
Yeah.
song, and he's looking at her, and she's like, "What are you?
You're
Why are you looking at me
like
like
you
that?"
love me.
He's like what? And she tells him like, "You love me," and he's like, "I do love you. Of course I love you," and he re-references that, and he's like, because he is having a psychotic break, because
Yeah.
then he's like, I saw Ellie, but she didn't see me because I wasn't the version that she knew, so she saw through me, and that did send him over the edge.
Yep.
I think that he felt a guilt towards Ellie. And then when he's reflecting in his bunk, he's like, I could have been happy. I could have had happiness
It
with
all
Ellie if I
without
had
Greta.
just given that a chance instead of continued through this path of like the path that Greta and I had chosen, which I guess maybe that's what Santonics was alluding to, but how would he even fucking know that?
That's true. Maybe
Maybe he saw the potential
yeah.
of like
Or
what
also
could have been
maybe
and what was
that's
happening.
yes. And also now going back to Lippincott or whatever, maybe he didn't think that they were sadistic murderers. Maybe they just thought like, oh, maybe he doesn't want her to know that, he got with her friend or something.
Yeah.
It could have just been innocent.
No, I think Lippincott was like, I know that the two of, because he's been like, don't trust Greta. Greta's a bitch. Like, fuck her. She has way too much influence over Ellie. So I think Lippincott suspected Greta forever. And then when Mike came along and he asked him that question, and Mike was like, nope, never met her. He was like, And then when Mike goes to New York, he's like, who stands to benefit from Ellie's death? And Lippincott was like, you. So I think Lippincott knew. I don't know why he didn't tell Ellie.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, the only loophole or the only like.
The only way to explain it is like he didn't think it could be that bad. Like he literally just thought it was like an innocent, like not innocent, but like part of his past.
No, I feel like he knew.
I don't know.
Because why lie?
Why? But like when you just meet this guy,
But
mind you, he's never like okay, actually, good point here. To this point where Andrew Lippincott meets Mike for the first time, he's still never seen Greta.
so if he's
via
just like,
Ellie.
do you know
Greta, he can just say no. So, but you don't know that because he hasn't seen Greta yet. Like, oh, I've heard of her, but I haven't seen her. So there's still plausible deniability.
Yeah.
And then through the work that Andrew Lippincott did, then he finds this picture and then he finds more information. But in the moment, it doesn't raise any red flags.
I think he knew when he asked because I think that Ellie was such a high profile like case for him.
Maybe. I mean,
client.
it's possible. I just think that she did a good job and not being,
Definitely.
Like you're kind of like, it could have been, it could have not been. Okay, I kind of like this book now.
I enjoyed the layers of it. I enjoyed because then, okay, so he chokes Greta. She's obviously dies, and he just sits there and waits and waits and waits, and eventually the police come because the servants called them. Which crazy that the servants. I would have booked it the fuck out of there if I saw him murdering his like.
Señor, bye bye.
I would have tiptoed, sprinted out of that motherfucking house, and
I would have
nunca
said,
me bajaba in. I will call you like from the next town over. I'll
Correct.
call the police and be like, just to let you know,
Just letting you
he
know,
killed that girl.
I'm out of here, but
I'm
you should
out.
probably
I'm
head
not
over
coming
there.
back, but you
Yep.
need to go there.
Yep. Yep.
So
I agree.
the cops come and he's like, so you guys know then, right? And they're like, yeah, we've known from the
We've
start.
known.
We knew it was
Yeah.
you from the start. And even his friend that he was having lunch with was like, yes, I knew that you did it. I suspected you. And then it's like a veil gets pulled over because he's like, we did it. Ha ha ha. Nobody's going to catch us. Now we can live off of the money. Ba-da-da-da-da. And then in that moment, you're like, wait, so were you just like a super obvious asshole? And because we
Yeah.
were stuck in your head, we just didn't know?
We thought you were totally normal.
It's such a mind fuck.
It is a mind fuck. I agree with that.
I liked the book because of that. The last 2 chapters did it for me because I just checked. It's
23, 24.
yeah, 23, 24. Yeah. Those last 2 chapters really like just like
I think it was.
my head was spinning. I was like,
It
what?
dragged. It dragged for a little bit
It
too
did.
long.
It did.
But
I had to speed read at
yeah.
a certain point because I was like, this needs to pick up already.
Yes. So it dragged a little bit longer than I usually like.
Mm-hmm.
With no, like, it dragged without a plot is my thing. Like, they were just
Yeah.
giving me random information about the stupid house being built.
Yep.
But then afterwards, at first, my initial thought before we started reviewing it together was I don't like it because I don't have any clues. It just felt, at first, I felt like Agatha Christie just kind of brought here and just wanted to shock me. But, like, it didn't flow with the story. But talking to you and seeing, like, oh, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he is an unreliable narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me like it more.
Because he even lies to you.
Yeah.
About like.
Because he's lying to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is the story. This is
Yeah.
what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he's not
in
like,
this part,
and I'm
he's
lying
like-
to her.
Yeah, like, look, there's this part where
And you know what's something
there
telling?
isn't really very much to say after that. I mean, things came to a climax there.
Yeah.
One forgets it. What?
You forget everything that
Yeah.
happened?
Then I suppose the people began coming.
Yeah, talking about like the detectives and
Yeah.
stuff. And you know, it dawned on me now, like, I don't think he ever expresses that he loves Ellie in the book.
No, I think
But
there was a point where he was like, I could have. Like, oh, when
In the
he was,
end.
yeah, when he was like, no, that's true. But in the end, when he was like, oh, it was easy to like make love to her, like she was
Yeah.
a sweet girl.
Which is sad.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for Ellie when I read those last 2 chapters because I was like,
this
La
poor girl.
pobrecita. She was a sweet girl. And she was just like so like
Taken advantage of.
kind.
Yep.
Yeah, she was giving towards like she didn't even think that he was after her for her money.
No.
She didn't suspect
She was like
that.
happy to live in some random fucking place that this guy wanted. Instead of like, I'm
I
rich,
felt so
cultured,
bad for
I can
her.
go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I think that I don't think he loved Ellie, but I think that she touched a side of his humanity
Yep.
that he had never had touched before.
Agreed.
I think what he had with Greta was like this lustful, evil understanding because they're both awful people.
Yeah.
Because if she's willing to kill like
Like,
this
she knew
girl that
that,
she's
like, he
saying
was
that
down
she
for
cares
it.
for, yeah, like you're not a good person, obviously.
Right.
Something's wrong with your soul. But then like I think he meets Ellie and like she does show him
Yeah.
love in a way that I think she elicited an emotion out of him that I don't think he can classify. And
Yeah.
I do think he's a psychopath.
Fair.
And so like I think she does haunt him.
Yeah.
Like her standing there and looking, that drove him crazy. In my opinion, that was the
Saw through
catalyst.
me. Yeah.
For everything.
Agreed.
And then in the end, like I said, like how he's like, I could have loved her. Like I could have had
I could have
a
just
life
been,
with her.
like,
If I had just
happy. Yeah.
chosen that day. And he's like, that day where she was like, you're looking at me like you love me. I think in that moment he was feeling something.
Yeah. Like he could have just been okay there.
Yeah.
Because he got the house. He got what he wanted. And she was
And
sweet.
she was rich and she was willing to travel with him.
Yeah, and she
she
was
even
just
he
nice.
was even like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be here. And she's like,
Yeah,
no, you don't.
okay.
You want to go places. I know you. I know you do.
Yeah.
And she was sweet about it.
Yeah.
And he did have a sweet life with her, like as he painted it.
Yep. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't conflictive.
No. And I mean, I'm sure it's hard to get along with somebody regardless, but they had money, like servants. Nobody had to clean. Nobody had to pick up. There were no kids. There was no responsibility. It was just like have
Just
fun, spend
yourself.
money, buy
Exactly.
stuff, travel.
Lunch with
Yeah.
the mayor, like,
And she was a low maintenance kind of girl. Like she
yep.
wasn't like, "Hey, I want to be with you all the time." Like he was like, "I'm gonna go do
No.
this," and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go ride my horse."
Yep.
So
Bam.
yeah.
Okay, so I do like this book.
What would you rate it out of 5 stars?
It's hard because I've been stuck reading fantasy novels. 3.5.
I would give it like a 3.8, 3.9.
I can meet you there.
I
Below
just
4
I
though.
really no, not quite 4 just because it did drag
Yeah.
for a large part of this book.
3.7 for me.
For me, like a 3.8 or 3.9, veering into 3.9.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I
The
love how that
twist at
means
the
different
end.
things to us.
Yeah.
Like, no, 0.8, not 0.7.
Because to me, I'm like a 3.9 is like it's like you're basically a 4.
yeah.
And
But
like
you're
a
not.
3.8 is like you're getting there, but there's still things that are lacking. I feel like what was lacking was engagement. Like I was not engaged in the book.
Drag.
It did drag. It dragged a while. I thought it was a good book because of the last 2 chapters. It really threw me off. And then when I started to analyze and I realized like he was deceiving us the
He's
entire
crazy,
book.
yeah.
And like
I
you're
like that
crazy.
you brought that up because I hadn't come to terms with that. I
Yeah.
was just like, I didn't know. But
No,
no,
I
they got me.
liked, and then, like I liked how he was like, I don't like going around my mom. I don't like going around my mom. And then at the end, he's like, and this is why I don't
And
come
my
around my
mom
mom
knew.
because
My mom
she
knew that I
sees
was
through me.
crazy.
She knows who I am. She knows what I'm capable of.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my God, this all fucking makes sense now. And then how they're like, oh yeah, Claudia, that's how we knew that like
Yeah,
it
because he
was
was a healthy
you
girl.
because
and
she
he
had
died.
because we found her lighter there and it was another like poison pill and he
Yep.
was like, yeah, we must have dropped a few when we were there, like filling the capsules up with arsenic.
Crazy asshole.
So I really enjoyed the like you feel like the book is normal. It really
Yeah.
just feels like you're living through somebody's life
Yeah.
normally. They're falling in love, getting married,
And then all of
buying
a
house.
sudden,
You read this twist and then
Yeah.
you reanalyze and you're like, oh my
Oh.
God, it's you this whole time. You've been lying to me.
yeah, I was unexpected.
You were lying to Ellie. You were lying to me. And I just believed you because I didn't have a reason not to. So I really enjoyed the mind fuck that was this book.
I did like that. Okay. So it's a good intro to Spooky October.
Yeah, this is our first Spooky October book. What are we reading next?
Hemlock and Silver
Yes.
by Kingfisher.
Yes. So if you want to follow along with us, please feel free to read the whole list. We're doing that one
Yes.
next. So maybe you can read it in time for the next episode or just read it and
Let us know what you think after.
if you read this book, if you're following Halloween
The-
October
yeah.
with us, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts.
Do you agree with us?
yeah.
Or was he an unreliable narrator? Like, I think now that you brought it up, I feel that way. But my initial thought was like, this sucked.
No,
But no,
I
I,
loved it.
actually do like it.
I loved
now.
how he lied to us
Yeah.
and then he corrected
So
the narrative later
deceitful.
on. I was like,
Yeah, and very like, I got away with it. But everybody's like, no.
yeah, everyone's like, honey, we all knew it was you.
No.
Everyone.
So, anyways, I did like it now that I think about it.
Yeah.
It was a good start.
It was a good start.
Spooky
I'm excited to
October.
continue the month. I'm not that excited because I'm going to get scared at some point.
No, but I think the next one's safe.
Yeah, I think the next one will be fun.
Yeah.
Spooky fun.
Yeah. So, catch us next time.
Catch us
with
next
Hemlock
time.
and Silver.
Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.